So first of all, one thing we are trying to do is change from what is normally considered the most common conceptualization of sustainable lifestyles, which generally refers to or treats sustainable lifestyles as a proxy for sustainable consumption. So we are trying to get away from that perspective on the one hand, to not consider lifestyles as a proxy for sustainable consumption, but define them as an outcome of a multitude of individual decisions that at the same time constitute a socially shared symbolic entity. But we're also trying to look at lifestyles not in an additive perspective as it was traditionally done in health research, for example, where the concept of lifestyle started, but look at lifestyles as patterns of time use that take place in given locations and have associated consumption patterns. The idea of adopting a time use perspective on lifestyles comes from recent research that has looked at the energy intensiveness of activities and how this has changed over the years. So how people have started to move away from time-intensive activities towards more energy-intensive activities. And in doing that, that has important implications for lifestyle choices and also for the environmental impact of their lifestyle choices. So in GLAMURS, what we do is we look at how people structure their time and what are the determinants of the way they structure their time at both individual but also collective and more social levels, in order to understand what are the environmental implications of those structurations of patterns of time use, but also to look at how there might be windows of opportunity in the ways people organize their time, in the objectives they pursue when they organize their time, windows of opportunity for sustainability. We also adopt this time use perspective because we think time is a limited resource, so it doesn't matter how technology evolves now and in the future, time will always be limited. And in that sense, it's only so much that people can do in a 24-hour day. And if we consider that, then we need to look at what people choose to do and what they choose not to do in those times, and what are the implications from an environmental sustainability point of view. In the work package that I am the leader of, what we are looking at is what are the most important determinants of these patterns of time use. So what determines preferences for a certain way of organizing your day, both from an individual point of view, but also social determinants and economic determinants. So we are considering here macroeconomic variables, for example, as important drivers of lifestyle change. And to give an example here, the fact that prices of energy have decreased, for example, in the last decades, or that wages have increased and the productivity has increased, that has made then the shift from from time-intensive activities to energy-intensive activities very attractive, has driven that shift in our society. So we're looking at those determinants and we're exploring them. We want to understand what drives these patterns of time use, what the relationship of the patterns of time use are with well-being, with how satisfied people are. But we also want to see how this relates to environmental impact, and we do that through both a qualitative exploration, through focus groups, for example, but we also do that through a large-scale survey that will take place in the 7 regions, in which we look at the determinants of both actual lifestyle choices, but in 6 domains of interest, but also desired lifestyle changes, so what people want to change and what the relevance of that is for sustainability-oriented policy.